Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cities Skylines in the city of Knight's Helm. This is Kuros Paladin, and this is episode 10. If you're wondering, hey, wait a minute, the last episode was 7. Well, yeah, you'd be right. That was the last episode that has audio behind it. I sat down to record a couple episodes the other night and had the clips just sitting there, and when I went to finally splice together all the low quality production value intros and outros that I have on them, I discovered there was no commentary the entire time. Turns out that my microphone had been muted for both episodes. So I had to make a decision. Do I go back and re-record the episodes? Do I record voice overlay for them? Or do I just move on and accept it? And I decided, you know what, I'll just move on and accept it, and we'll continue at 10 here. Because, as I'm sure all of you are aware, my episodes do move a little bit slow. So what the heck, you got through 2 episodes here, and I'll show you what I did during those 2 episodes. So here we are looking at City Hall. We just plucked it right off the streets of Toronto there, right off of Bay and Queen, and put it in our city. And then I realized we were so eager to get it here that, as I was telling everybody before, this road is going to become a freeway. Well, that doesn't really help that the City Hall is right in the middle of it. So I think I intended to put it over here, and I made a mistake. I put it in the wrong one. Well, we'll move it one day. That is, whenever we finally get around to actually putting the freeway in. So what did I do last 2 episodes? Well, you can see a little bit of growth has occurred in the city. Not a lot, but we're still going there. Paladin Park got up to, I think it was level 4. It got up to another level, so I got a rock climbing frame. I'm sorry, not a rock climbing frame. A jungle gym for the kids. So there's one of those there, and I think I put another one out on this little island. Nope, I didn't. I guess I just put the one in. I put some more gazebos in there, and hopefully that park will get moving along pretty well. I also gave a little bit more high density. You can see there's a little more vertical growth going on here in Hyperion Way and Atlas Plaza. We can turn on the Promenade and Hyperion Way. Atlas Plaza is over here. I added downside. I hit the limit of the city, but I expanded this direction a little bit. And I finally crossed the freeway and started this little neighborhood over here. And we're going to start following along the edge of the lake here. We're going to call this Lake Chevalier. Yes, everything is night themed. And then we're also going to just try to get along, get some things moving along a little faster. We got some people that are looking for some power out here. You know, I could probably help them by putting a park down, because it just occurred to me, I don't think there are any parks over here. Nope. So let's go ahead and give them a park right there. And did that, yep, that did it. Okay, good. And they do have water, yes. The other thing that I did that was big is I put in a very simple metro line just to go east-west in the city. I believe the top of the screen is north. And we're beginning, to get to that point where traffic is going to be a little bit, get a little bit congested. Right here, at the corner of Manor Boulevard and what is this, Price Street, I do have a crossover station. Okay, let me see if I can do this without, there we go. I'm not using the lower platform at the moment, but this is an asset from the Steam Workshop. It's 2 for 1. It allows you to get a 90-degree metro line, and works out really well, so you don't have to deal with all the little shenanigans of trying to get 2 subway stops right next to each other at an intersection. There's a parallel version as well if you're looking for one of those. Steam Workshop, great place to check out for a lot of assets that people have created for the game. In fact, you have seen quite a few of them already, both in the way of buildings, such as Toronto City Hall, and some vehicles. In fact, let me see if I can find one of the ones that you've already seen. There's a McDonald's one, a Coca-Cola one, but oh, was that it right there? Nope, it's that color though. There's one that's going around City Hall right now. Oh, no, I was wrong. Oh, I'm gonna be looking around for this one little vehicle now, aren't I? Come on, where is it? Oh, I was way off on the color. Okay, it says blue. But it is the Planet Express delivery truck. And what's great about it is the little logo on the back. I'm sorry, the little phrase in the back. Our crew is expendable, replaceable. Our crew is replaceable. Your package isn't. So, anyhow, a lot of really great assets. Go check out the Steam Workshop. So, what would we like to do for this episode? Well, what I would like to do is I would like to continue to grow. I've got some growth coming back. It's been a little bit slow, but it is happening off a little bit. I'm doing fairly well financially. In fact, I've got quite a considerable balance here, and our weekly income is doing very well. We've got people coming into the city, and I think our next goal is 26,000? Nope, just 20,000. And we'll get the solar plant to help us with some of our energy issues. So over on this side of this freeway, I would like to get a little bit more commercial and a little bit some office going on. I really don't have a lot of office space going on in this city for some reason. Probably because I've just been ignoring it. So, and I do need some more industrial at some point too. And I may end up putting another industrial park kitty corner from this one if I expand this direction. I want industrial to always be as close to a freeway as possible because of just all the trucks that it generates. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop down just a little bit of commercial. Let's go ahead and start here. Actually, I'm going to leave the actual intersection open. I'm probably going to have a tiny little well, not really tiny, but an office park back here. So let's go ahead and we will put... And by the way, thank you everybody for the likes, for the subscriptions, and for the comments. I really appreciate it. I've taken a lot of them to heart. I have been tweaking the audio settings. I am really hoping that it works better this time, that the music isn't quite as loud, and that you can hear me more clearer. Still looking to get a better microphone so that I don't sound quite as tinny as I do now, I should say. But I do have a very nasal, high-pitched voice, so I apologize if that is a little irritating to you. It's just unfortunately the voice that God decided to give me, so. Alright. Let's go ahead and put just a little bit of office down. We'll put it right on the main road. Uh-oh. People's sewers are backing up. And that's because we don't have power out here. Am I running low on power now? Oh, dear goodness, yes I am. Okay. In episode 8 or 9, I did build a third oil power plant. It looks like I'm going to have a fourth now. Oh, I forgot, I do have the geothermal. Oh, I do have the updraft, the solar updraft. I could almost get rid of... Let's see, I'm doing, what was it that I'm doing right now? 300. If I have 3 of these, I should be getting 360 though, shouldn't I? Did I mess up my budget? No, it's at 100%. So, they have enough oil stored? They're pumping out 120. They're pumping out 120. Am I seeing the wrong thing? Well, what I could probably do, anyhow, is I could probably get rid of one of these, just to save on a little bit of money, and put the updraft in. And we can drop that. We're going to have to demolish some of our industrial, unfortunately. Yep. So let's go ahead and we'll drop that in right over here. We can finally get rid of that. Okay. Solar updraft, it's a nice clean solution. It's green. Come on, what's going on? There we go. Okay, up to 420 now. Excellent. So all that sewage issue should go away now. Very slowly, but it should go away. There we go. Okay. So yeah, the solar updraft tower, it's a nice green solution. It's a little bit of an eyesore, but it's a nice green solution. Eventually we'll get the nuclear plants, and then after that we will get the fusion reactor, which we only need the one, and that should do for the whole city. There's really no good place on this map for a dam. It's a fairly flat map, so hydroelectric power not going to really happen on this map. So let's get back to what we were doing over here in this neighborhood. We had just put down some offices, and we got a whole bunch of the European ones. Oh well, that's just what we got to deal with. And we'll go ahead and... living along the freeway isn't really a lot of fun. But I don't know if I want to put commercial... You know, I'll just put a giant... We will make this all office. Not necessarily giant, but we'll just make this all office. It does not generate a lot of traffic, which is a good thing. It doesn't generate a lot of noise. And maybe I can finally get power to jump across the freeway. Come on. It's not going to happen, is it? Unless... before something builds. There we go. And then of course something did just below anyhow. So we can get rid of those power lines. Put some office space there. Okay, so we're doing fairly well. We might actually hit that. What was the next city? Is Grand City. We might actually hit that fairly quick. A couple other things that I did last episode, or last two episodes, is I think I introduced free Wi-Fi, so I can get some of my mail going around the city under control. I may start introducing some other policies to some of the districts. So, in fact, what I want to do, I just like to do this. This is probably not very realistic, but it's just something I like to do. In one of my districts, I do like to put the high-tech housing. Oh, that I didn't want to put that on the entire city. Whoops. Okay, wait a minute. I want this on Atlas Plaza. City planning, high-tech housing. There, okay. So it's on Atlas Plaza, but it is not on the others. Okay. Oh, and Paladin Park has reached level 5, and that's as far as the city parks go. So I have a lot of space to fill in this fill in here. This road will eventually go all the way up to the waterfront, and this will just become a giant park. But why don't we go ahead and give them the trampoline park and start going this way a little bit more. So we'll put that on the inside. We'll put one there, one over here, and we'll put one right across from the jungle gym. And then we'll put another jungle gym in. We'll put that one right there. We'll just kind of keep them clustered. There we go. Excellent. So once I start developing out in this area a little more, we'll get better. Wow, that high-tech housing, look at that, the amount of upgrades going on there. I didn't want to do it across the entire city just because I don't want I just don't want it to impact the entire city. I want to give each neighborhood a kind of distinct look. Soon in the near future, I may put down the self-sufficient buildings in a new district, because if I were to say implement it right now here in Hyperion Way, all these would disappear and everybody would move out and it would have to rebuild, and I really don't want to do that. So, speaking of parks, let's take a look at, actually I prefer the overlay, if I can find it. It used to be a little clock, now it's this, here we go. So yeah, I really am doing pretty bad with parks, aren't I? Let's go ahead. I know this is an industrial area, but it does help the land value as well. So actually right where that power plant was, we'll put a park there. And then we'll put another one right here. I want to keep them in the neighborhoods as opposed to on the main roads, if possible. So we'll just put one there. Sorry, people. You can either have a park, or you can move out. Or you can, I'm sorry, you can either have a park and move out, or you can stay and not have a park. Put another one right here. And finally, we'll put one right behind the subway station. There. Okay. So we're doing fairly well on the rest of things. We still have not enough educated workers at a lot of locations, but we just gotta let our citizens become educated. So it takes time for them to go through the school system. And our demands are coming back up. So we're doing pretty well. We're only 599 people away from the Grand City. I guess I could put some more high density commercial. We'll go right here, next to the university. As soon as they all move out. Okay, there. And plop that down. And what the heck, we might as well just do it on the other side too, so. Boom. It's good to be the mayor. You can just go ahead and bulldoze everything away. How am I doing? And actually, you know, was scrolling through all of my assets trying to find something, and I forgot I had this wonderful mod which allows you to search for assets. And one of the assets that I really enjoy and always ends up in a roundabout is Cologne Cathedral, and I think it is time to get that in there. It is only 65,000 and only costs 104 a week. So, and oh, that's where City Hall was going to go. And this roundabout somehow got zoning back in it. Well, that's annoying. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take care of that. I'm going to pause while I do this so that hopefully my lane arrows are not impacted by it. Let's go ahead and upgrade to the tree lined. And hopefully, because I'm just maintaining all the movement, I don't lose. Oh, I lost them all. Alright. Oh, I just... I'm not having a good day. I just put a two-way road down there, and I'm doing... There we go. Well, now I definitely have to do them all over again. If some reason that you just happen to be joining the series at this point, I don't like to have zoning on my roundabouts. I just would prefer that there's not. It makes things a little crisper in the zoning department, and it also prevents buildings showing up where I don't want them. And then all of this is because it helps make roundabouts work a lot better. If you want to know all of that, go back to episode 1. I explain as I build the very first roundabout in the city why I do it the way I do it. So the three things are the lane arrows, the give way signs, and the junction restrictions. And this is all through Traffic Manager President Edition. Okay, there we go. So this is where I'm going to put Cologne Cathedral. We're going to have to also do a little landscaping over here. Let's get the smooth terrain tool out. And get rid of this really harsh. There we go. That works out really well. Okay, now we can go back. Now because there is no zoning, I have to find a spot to put it first and then use move it to get it there. So we'll just start way over here. Then we'll select it, we'll move it. Just pick it up and move it all the way over here. There we go, okay. Whew, it's heavy. And then we use move it mod to set it to the same height. And then we move it a little bit more, or use move it mod a little bit more just to kind of get it centered in there. It's okay if it overlaps a tad. I'm kind of using the street lights on either side if you can see them. And then I want that tiny little bit gone. There we go. Oh, look at that. The way those sun shafts come through those bell towers. I think I used this as a screenshot from a different city for my very first episode. It's a beautiful asset. I am sorry I don't remember who created it. Found it on Steam Workshop. It was based on a real-life cathedral. So, boom, we now have another nice landmark in the city. And yes, I did make certain the altar is facing east. So, or rather the altar is to the east, I should say. And then just because sometimes when you move things around there. Okay. I could probably go ahead and move City Hall at this point, but I'm going to hang on to that. Alright, so, yeah, all that stuff that we did in the past 2 episodes doesn't seem like a lot really happens in these half hours, does it? But I'm hoping by watching you get some ideas if you've been trying to play the game and you're getting frustrated with it, because it can be a very frustrating game at times. Trying to figure out just how to get started. And the vanilla game, you can do it, but as I mentioned, Traffic Manager and other things of that nature do help a lot. So maybe getting a couple of mods will help. This roundabout is starting to get a little crowded. It's probably because I am going to need to get another entrance to the city really darn soon. So I will probably put another one up here. It would be really nice if I could put like just the half. Just have it go boom and connect there. I guess I could put, they do have a pre-built one that I could put, but it is fairly large. But it would fit there. With a little bit of chicanery, I could get that to work. I could just bump it back a little bit, bring the freeway back a little bit. But I don't want to have trying to get right over into the lake here. So, okay. But we'll save that for a later episode. So, we're almost actually out of space to expand in. I do have a couple of new squares I can buy into or expand into. I would really like to get to this island, but that's going to require 3 of them. One of which has very little land, usable land, and then I have to span the river here to get to it. So I will probably end up expanding into one of these 2. I'm still saving a good chunk of this over here for something else later, but I need a lot of money to do exactly that. Actually, what I really would like to do is I'm going to wait until I hit that 20,000, and then we'll go ahead and say that's a good spot to end this episode. So while we're waiting, I am going to put down yet another post office way over here so that these folks can get their mail. There we go. And let's take a look at our existing post offices, how well they're doing. So they're at 23%, 50%. I don't remember where the other one was. Right there. 20%, 50%. I don't think I need the distribution center quite yet. So, 65 people. This seems like deja vu. Didn't I do this in an earlier episode? We're just sitting there watching, and then it crawls along. Oh, I actually lost people. What the heck? I would like to get... I'm debating if I want houses along the front here. They're going to be very small houses if I do it. Why not? These will be larger. I'm gonna have to get power to them somehow. This will be a residential road. It'll be a major road, but there will be residences on it. There we go! Grand City, we now have the solar power plant, and we can get a 3rd loan if we need it. Our next goal, 12,000 more people, 3,200, and we can get the cargo harbor, the eco water treatment plant, and the harbor. Unfortunately, in the ship, this is entirely useless on this map, these 3, because there is no ship connection on this map. But with the magic of mods, we can go ahead and add one anyhow. So anyhow, thank you everybody for watching, and you have a great day. I hope your holidays were really good too. Excuse me, just a second. I'm starting to get a little congested. And hope your holidays were well. Hope you had fun with your family and friends if you were able to do so. And if you liked the episode, if you're enjoying this, please hit the like button. And if you would like to get notified of updates, hit the subscribe button. I try to update at least 2 times a week, but I am going to try to get to a schedule starting in March, because my schedule all the way through March is going to be hectic as heck. So starting mid-March or so, I'm just going to try to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday updates. But we shall see how well that works. And anyhow, I really hope you come back to see the following episodes. We are going to get this city moving. It's just that it starts slow, and I just play that way. So, you all have a good time. I really appreciate your comments and your likes and your subscriptions. And once again, if you would like to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it as well. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.